feel like you guys are saying I'm not a witch. That's fine. I mean, whatever makes you comfortable, Pilgrim. It's probably best that you, hey, think whatever you want. You want to say I'm a Christian or something? Like, fine. What the fuck ever, dude. So it fucking doesn't matter to me. But the reality is I am, and you are going to take that and you are going to turn it into, well, this is schizophrenia saying projecting magical abilities. No, I'm projecting magic. There's a difference. I'm not personalizing that. I think all people innately have the ability to do magic, especially children, especially women. But I think that they block that with disbelief. I think they block that with distraction, and I think they block that with fear. You remember that book that came out, The Secret, and everyone lost their shit? And I'm sitting there like, that's witchcraft. That's not, what the fuck's secret? That's been around for thousands of years. So you like wrote this new book, and you're like, oh my god, make up a diagram of the things you want. I'm like, it's called manifesting. People do it all the time. They said Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $1 million. I was like, I'm gonna cash that one day, and then he did. People do that all the time. Hypnosis is actually very similar to this. It is witchcraft, hypnosis is, and I'm using this term and you're going to freak out, but I want to show you how many areas of life witchcraft actually apply that you might use before you freak out and negate it and go, that's scary, that must have something to do with the devil, this has a bad connotation. Because you've seen too many movies. That's really why. And because religion is as toxic as it can be towards others, though they don't understand what they fear. So I do want to talk to you about this. What the hell am I talking about? So, for example, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. I'm not saying that the ingredients to your recipe aren't important because they do have their own connotation. I'm just saying don't get too caught up on it. This is why I'm chaos magic. I'm not too particular as a witch. I'll still get the job done. You took away all my magic supplies, you took it away, and I had to just improv and be like, okay, and like go pick herbs in the fucking woods. You know what I mean? Like, or I didn't have enough to do a ceremony that I did the other day. It doesn't matter. I used water. I picked flowers. There's just different ways. I started stomping, doing different things. There's just different ways, and you can do magic in different ways. So let's go into it. Because I'm saying that I have shamanic roots and I also have witch roots, and they're similar, but they're not the same. So, stomping, that's shamanic. You're going to be like, how the fuck did you just relate Taylor Swift to this? Remember I told you I was like, no, I like 2 of her songs. I do. And one of them is Shake It Off. That's actually a shamanic song. I'm not saying she's not. It's a very pop reference to shamanism, but I'm trying to relate it to your everyday life, so stick with me here. There is actually, and I can put up the articles for you or some articles, there's actually scientific proof that when you move, when you shake, let's say you do sports, go for a run or a walk or dance or whatever, that you change your vibration. So let's say you have something on you that's weighing on you, and you shake it off. You're like, why are you dancing in your room? Because I'm shedding it off. I'm getting back to me. And this is actually rooted in science. Swear to fucking God, dude. They found actual connections, and they say for head tilting, that's one of them. Head tilting changes it. But you do change your frequency through movement. So this is shamanism, and this is a way that you see a pop culture reference to it. It's also why you feel better. You guys, when you feel like shit, go out and go dancing. You'll feel better, right? You know this. I'm just trying to show you how shamanism and witchcraft relates to your everyday life, and you might not know it. And so that you don't freak out and go, I'm afraid of what she's saying because I don't understand it. What's so scary about going out and dancing? What's so scary about that? But it is really singing, same thing. Humming, chanting, same thing. Okay? That's an example of everyday shamanism. Witchcraft. It's a craft, you guys. So it involves a lot of different, it involves whatever the fuck you want it to involve. And you guys go, well, this couldn't possibly relate to Catholicism, so you must be confused. And I'm saying it can relate to whatever the fuck you want it to relate to. That's why I like it. It's a totally free thinking ability for you to do. So why I said voodoo and you go, voodoo, oh my God. And Catholicism are actually really closely related is because they fucking are. We're using different terms, and that's why you're freaking out. What are these Catholics doing up on the hill? They're bringing laurel, they're bringing plants, okay, you guys, and they're lighting a candle next to a monument, a shrine, if you will. As do most practitioners. Why? Because Christianity ripped off the Wiccans. The pagans, I should say. The pagans. Okay? So a lot of these All Saints Day, Halloween, this is a pagan holiday, actually. And so it crossed over, and so while you guys are doing your thing that you think is so original, I'm saying, you're already here, actually. The difference is that what I'm talking about, a lot of paganism, is rooted in nature. I like this because this is not a man-made thing. It's trusting in God. I think it's more trusting in God to make a nature-based thing that says, no, this exists. This is empirical evidence that this exists. And these concepts, like, you go, what's she talking about? There's no time. Of course there's time. It's a man-made concept. Sorry to break it to you. It's a totally fucking man-made concept. And this goes into quantum physics, which reiterates, and as much as one can prove witchcraft or the things that I'm saying, absolutely does. Again, I said the thing about the watched particles behave differently than particles that are not watched. Yes, consciousness. So what can we take from that? Well, that's what science said. What does the spiritual side say? It means that the conjuring is working. You're saying, oh, hexing, what is that? I try not to do it. Unfortunately, I still do it. So do you. When someone you don't like walks in and you go, fucking bitch, that's a hex. You might not mean it is black magic, but it is. You're giving negative energy, and it does have a result. If you take, it's however much you want to act it. Let's say you bring it to fruition and say it, or write it, or take action. Now it's a bigger thing, and now you're committing to a hex. So I'm just showing you how these witchcraft terms apply to your everyday life, and you don't really need to freak out. Back to hypnosis. Hypnosis understands, and this is why I thought it was so interesting and wanted to go to that school but couldn't afford it, understands that it's all a walk in the mind. What I should be doing, and I'm well aware of, but I do hate money that much, is I don't hate money, I just hate the garbage around it, what it turns people into. And that's exactly the psychology I need to get over. I need to stop saying that I hate money, because it's negating me to be able to have money. I should be getting more money on the street, I really should. For as famous as I am, I really should. Coins, man, I'm hella fucking famous, dude. So, and I'm not saying I'm not grateful, I'm just saying, but part of that is me. So what hypnosis, just for example, would have me write down all the income for today. Doesn't matter what for. Maybe it was a free thing that I got a saving bag, that's income. I got money on the street, that's income. Just to say that I got something for free, it's income. Okay. And I would note it, and then I would go, okay, well, I want to make twice that by this goal. And I would keep writing it down, and I would keep noting it so that I would stay connected and conscious of it. But why would someone bother to do that? They bother to do that because it's conjuring. It's rewriting in your mind. And the way your thoughts go, or the way your words go, the way your actions go, the way your life goes. So you see this at play. So what I'm saying is, even though you guys go, she has no idea what she's talking about, I'm saying, yeah, I do. And actually, and it doesn't matter who got here first, but I'm just saying, if you want to break it down, a lot of your concepts were stolen from the pagans. Easter, oh really? The Easter Bunny? Do you know what that holiday is really about? Celebrating fertility. Yeah, that's the day a lot of people used to fuck. So, before you get all up in arms about what is this witchcraft she's talking about, you're already doing it. And every person has the ability to do it. But, however, you will absolutely lose this responsibility if you ever say you don't believe in it. Swear to God, dude. So that's why, even though you're like, you're crazy, there's no way I'm saying I don't believe in magic. Because I absolutely believe in magic. I know it's a thing. Oh, I know it's a thing. I fucking know it's a thing, because as much as I can know anything, which I only am ever going to go to 99.9% on anything, still have an open mind, I've witnessed it working. As far as deities and prayer, yes, it's the same thing. I mean, the Catholics are praying to saints. Okay, so I'm praying to deities. And what is a deity? Is it something that exists outside of the human mind? I think so. But you don't have to think so in order to do this. It could just be a concept. Say, you're praying to, there's a popular deity, prophet, whatever. Jesus. That's a popular one that you may pray to in your everyday life. What are you actually praying to? Peace, love, healing, protection. These are concepts, all embodied in one thing, one man, one entity. Okay, it's the same thing I'm doing. You guys go, devil's craft, I don't understand this, I feel scared, I feel confused. We don't need to, because I'm only praying to good stuff. Now, however, I will say this. A lot of people say that, people that are more in this, say that if you only use light magic, that you're like a newbie, that you are just inexperienced and like roll their eyes and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and that's why you do that. No, I think it's just that I've done it enough to know not to do the other thing. Because what happens, and I don't touch black witchcraft for this, not so much for a moral reason, although that's a big part of it, but because I don't want the attachments. And what ends up happening when you're dishing out spells and doing these negative things towards others, whatever you put out, positive or negative, comes back to you by 3. If not in this life, in another one, trust. So you are binding yourself to this person. I'm saying if you really don't like them, get rid of them. I don't mean but I mean remove them from your energy. So you guys see me doing bindings on here, and you're probably like, why? Or uncrossings, or asking for help with these energy releases. Why? Because I really, really don't want to be around these people, like my family, etc. So it is better for me to do that than to like curse them and hex them like what they're doing to me, because what they're doing is attaching to my energy, and I'm saying, fuck off. No, like forever, fuck off. Because I really, that's a better idea than whatever the fuck they're doing. So if my family's gonna say they don't believe in magic, some of them don't, but some of them do and are doing it. So you just lost it, you fucking buffoon. So witchcraft, I just wanted to go into it so you can stop being afraid of what you don't understand, because we are just using different terms. And this comes in many facets. We can go into meridians, we could go into chakras, we can go into Ayurvedic medicine, we can go into, I've explored a lot more facets than I've talked to you about on here, because I don't have everything, I don't have access to everything, and I don't feel like explaining every single thing that I do all the time, although I seem to have to. So, and then numerology is another thing that I've played with, and bibliomancy. You've seen me do with the Bible when you guys try to like convert me to your blah blah blah. Boring. Potluck. But it's about the potlucks, right, guys? That's what religion's fucking about. Potlucks.